Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SETI Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Prue, for this weekend. Joining me, as always, are Philip and Darren. Now, guys, have you ever wondered what life was like 200 years ago?
What's that be, 17, 18?
Yeah. You know, it
No,
sounds a little
it's
better.
it's further than that.
It's 'cause,
1718 would be 1918.
Yeah, that's right. It would be 1818.
We're in the
1818.
21st century there.
Oh, you're right, 1818. So that's 300 years back. So apparently no.
He's getting there. No spoilers, anyone.
200 years is a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost too long, you could say, that if you were to be transported magically via technology into that era, you would probably be more confused than interested in learning a life lesson.
Well, no, there was that time, I remember, I was walking in this battlefield, because I live in the South here in the United States. We have a lot of battlefields here. And there was a cannon. And I'm like, oh, that's just like the cannon Andrew Jackson had.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, so it's 1820s, but isn't that the time that, like, Sherlock Holmes and such is taking place?
Well, later in that century. I think it's more like 1890s.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
going to say, that
so
feels
the other
like
end of the century. Okay.
What is... I guess the Wild West is still a thing, right?
No. Again, post-Civil War is Wild West.
Yeah.
I mean,
then what is it-
basically,
what's
1812 is when the British burned down the White House, if that's what you need
Okay,
for
there
your...
you go.
I mean,
actually,
yeah,
if they
there's
could do that
some
again, that would
history.
be pretty great.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
not.
what if, like, there was one British guy who felt really conflicted about burning down the White House, and we could record his diary and read it 200 years later?
That's
I mean,
right.
Is that what you're talking about, Daniel?
And we would get it perfectly to what actually happened.
We could even talk with people in his command that didn't even write diaries.
Now, the key was to be the medic in the unit, because they talked to everyone.
But he was called the Leech Boy back then, so I heard.
The Leech Boy, that's good. That might be a potential episode title right there. We haven't even talked about the topic that we're going to be talking about today.
That's actually
so
great song, Leech Boy. Oh, the Leech Boy.
So let's use that as a segue, and
To travel
and
with.
And this is another in our series of episodes where we're, again, because I'm not clever and I'm not a writer.
Subjugations, some would call them. But
I call it, is that episode really that bad?
Were there really four lights?
Well, yeah, that'd be good. So we're covering the last live-action Star Trek, television Star Trek that we got until last year, until season 1 of Discovery, which is kind of interesting because it was, let's see, this has ended in 2005, right? 2005. And then we got Discovery in 2017. So that's a 12
little bit of a gap.
A bit of a gap. So this is the last thing that we had, which was These Are the Voyages from Enterprise. Now, this has gotten a particularly bad rap for a lot of reasons. Well, one, mostly. But, so...
Well, two, I'd say.
You could say two.
I could think of three, but yeah.
And, we were talking a little bit before the episode, and I think some of our positions have shifted and changed after this most recent rewatch. So let's talk about our opinions of this episode going in. Like, Philip, were you a hater like a lot of people, or were you kind of like meh, or did you love the episode? Like, where did you land going in?
Well, I mean, first of all, where's my expectations? I mean, Enterprise, not my greatest series. So, like, pre-Discovery, in my Star Trek series ratings, it would be the lowest of, so it's...
I mean, it only got 4 seasons. All the best series got at least 5.
Right. To include the animated, right? But anyway, no, but yeah, and so I wasn't expecting, we all know, the first season and second season were what they were. Third series, they kind of went for something different. Fourth season, you either loved or hated going with all the sort of the fan service. I don't say that in a negative way, but the fan servicey build, leading to TOS, Manny Koto, blah blah blah. And so with These Are the Voyages, I was sort of like, oh, okay, we were just skipping ahead to 6 years. I'll go with it. And then then they kill Tripp and everything's solved and hurrah. So yeah, it was. I didn't.
All good things it ain't.
Yeah.
We'll just start with that. I mean.
So you were never a lover of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a lover of Enterprise in the first place. Not that I rewatch Enterprise when I'm doing rewatches. It's, all good and good, but it's not something I'd, necessarily as a series look forward to. And so These Are the Voyages is not I think would probably be the worst finale. Yeah. Well, okay, except Turnabout Intruder. But then again, I don't know. I'd have to watch Turnabout Intruder again.
But that wasn't really a finale.
Yeah.
That was a cancellation finale.
I wouldn't count Turnabout Intruder.
Yeah. So, but anyway. So, yeah.
But Darren, okay, so we know Philip, not a lover of These Are the Voyages. Darren, what going in, were you dreading this? Did you not want to watch it again? Like, did you hate it?
Yeah, I definitely, pretty much everything you pick on this list, Daniel, is not something we want to watch. Like, I think we've made that clear.
Sparks Brain, we can go.
Wait until I pick Masks, Darren. Just wait, because Masks.
Oh man, I'm ready. Just say the word.
Masks.
But it'd been a while since I'd seen this. I saw Enterprise live, in the aughts, and then rewatched it, when it came onto Netflix and such. And I enjoy Enterprise, I think, a little more than Philip, but it's definitely I feel for what it is and what we got. There's definitely a lot of good episodes I enjoy. In a Mirror Darkly, especially being that amazing two-parter. But yeah, we were saying earlier, there's one thing wrong, two things wrong, three things wrong. I feel like the third thing for me, which probably isn't on your guys' list, is just the very last segment, which we'll get to. The
Space, the final
reciting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, that's awesome. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I have
Darren has issues
with
it, but
then the other two being
they went
obviously
with the politically incorrect man instead
of
the more politically correct.
Well, I don't want to get into it,
California,
because we're still doing initial thoughts. But on rewatching, I will say this: the story again wasn't as bad as I remember it, but there's a big fat, Barry Bonds asterisk attached to this episode.
That's funny.
In the fact that you'd have to do some, because I tried to look at it as like, okay, well, what if you took out all the Pegasus parts? Well, even then, it's like, as a finale for a series, it's something. And as a finale for this golden age of Star Trek, and it's just
it fails on both fronts, basically.
It really does.
Yeah.
Like you get to why kill Tripp? Why? There's literally no reason why. And even if there was a reason, it's 10 years in the future, so we're so disconnected from our characters anyway. And I guess the one thing I will say, and it's positive, and I'm scraping here, but I would say they do give all the main characters some screen time.
Everyone showed up in the finale.
That's awesome.
Again, I'm not saying
in the last episode of the series, they allowed every character to have one line.
Do you remember that one line that
Travis
Melton
said?
had? Travis said? That was awesome. Yeah, that was great.
I honestly, when Flock showed up with the chef, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that character. I'm glad they brought him in. We saw him again later in the decon or the hospital.
Yeah, so clearly there's a lot to discuss here, and I'm just gonna real quick give my thoughts.
It's very much a big why.
Yes,
why,
it is.
Rushed.
Why?
Simple. Anyway.
Like going in, I wouldn't call previously I wouldn't have called myself a These Are the Voyages defender, because I don't think it's great. I never thought it was great, but I was always like, when people were like upset about the Riker and Troy stuff, I was a little more
forgiving
because I look at Star Trek as a whole generally anyways. So for a long time I couldn't understand the criticism. Now I do. This most recent watching it today, I got the criticism and I feel the same way. So I've kind of rewatching this has pushed me very far in the other direction, where I'm like, okay, this is not good. This is, and like Darren said, like they tried to do two different things and failed at both of them pretty spectacularly. But so let's get into it. Let's get into the meat of it. Let's start just talking about whatever. I mean, I guess we can start.
There's no such thing, and I don't. Well, you correct me if I'm wrong. So I could be wrong. There's no such thing as holographic clothes. You got to cosplay when you go into that program. You can't. I don't know what word to use. Cheat.
That's your big nitpick.
Cheat. And have. I mean, that's how it even work. How do you wear holographic clothes over your uniform? You have to be awkwardly leave your quarters, go in the turbo lift, go down 3 decks, walk down the hallway in your cosplay, go into the holodeck. You got to earn that program. So this
You're walking by that young hot lieutenant, and you're like, "Hey, yeah, I'm totally heading to NX at one time. You remember that? You like history,
and he's
baby?"
just wearing like a jumpsuit, which is the easiest thing to wear. It's very comfortable. It's more comfortable than the TNG uniform. I'm going to be honest, probably.
It has pockets galore.
Yeah, and so it's bull blank.
You know, I was gonna retcon it for the series and be like, oh, that was early TNG, but then I remembered like Julian and Miles like always dressed up for their escapades.
Dax and
Kira wearing the
Kira.
Renaissance fair.
It's kind of a very established
Data,
thing.
LaForge, and their
Up.
Sherlock. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the scene where they all go into Arman Bashir and they're like walking Magnificent Seven style down the promenade, like they're all wearing their clothes.
It is by far. It's an interesting place to
Wait,
start.
that's not Arman Bashir. That's the one with
bada bing,
defending
bada bang.
Bada bing, bada bang.
Yeah.
It's the other holodeck one.
Yeah, that's not the first criticism that comes to my mind, Philip.
I was going chronologically, Daniel. I took notes for
From
this.
small to big.
So you have a list.
This is the only thing in our series I took notes with. So
when you
it's
hold up
number
the
one.
screen, Philip, all I see is white.
That's
so
how
you
many-
could have anything there, and you're like, oh yeah, I have a list too. You know.
There's, and this is just, we're not gonna do all of these. But I'll just do one quick one because this is the most, well, not the most annoying, but an annoying one. Okay, so you're gonna jump 10. Well, it's 6 years, but in total 10 years from season 1.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, and no one has bloody got promoted. No one.
Changed. There's no
Look,
new.
they don't have room. No, true. There's changes everywhere, Daniel. I mean, they have their names now.
They have
embroidered.
tabs that do nothing on the
They
uniform.
have epaulette tabs that don't.
There's an
do anything.
extra
They have
monitor on the
cool-
bridge. They painted
That ladder
painted it
monitor.
blue.
What the hell is that thing?
Well, we saw it in E Squared when you had the future. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we saw it in that one.
Hey.
And they're just like, it's like all good things where they take the extra parts of the future Enterprises and just put them
But
somewhere.
no chair for the first officer. So, you know.
No.
But no crew changes whatsoever. No new crew, no dead crew.
T'Pol's uniform's a little different.
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
not
It has her name on
much.
it.
Actually, her performance.
It's terrible.
More human.
It attempts. It definitely feels like she's trying to be more emotional than her typical T'Pol, which
as
is
opposed to her unemotional portrayal. And oh boy, T'Pol's not my favorite.
I know, Phil. You don't like T'Pol.
Honestly, we got more emotion out of like Zipper Face Lizard Man, the antagonist bad guy.
Oh, he was great.
He was really good.
He was cool. I actually
Like, I'd be afraid of him.
I feel
in
like
a
he
dark
wandered
alley.
off the Star Wars set, though. I feel like
well, that plot, it feels very Star Warsy. Like, it's like it's about the money, and there's like a jewel,
Yeah.
which is fine. Whatever, it's fine.
The duel is too magnificent for my eyes. I must shade them.
So, okay, this is a perfect transition. So, the plot of the episode, the thing the episode hinges on, is them going to this planet to find this guy to get his stranded
Daniel,
daughter back.
you know, coincidentally, this is the first planet we ever visited, and it's going to be the last
Whatever.
planet we visited.
Whatever.
Well, it'll technically be the last planet he visits, you know.
So one of the big events of the plot is that they trick the guy, they give him the fake jewel, whatever, blah. It's blinky blinky. I can't see.
Yeah.
And
Which I'm pretty sure I saw them shoot him, so I guess they didn't shoot him dead, because that would
No, that's my favorite thing with the Mako rifles. They have the stun blasters. You know, you're clearly dead from that, but it's on stun. It's the rapid fire stun bolts.
Well, there's one part where
You're
you see the
stunned.
guy fall into the gears, and you see him almost jerk his hand out because it probably pinched falling on that part of the set. He's like, "Oh, but wait, I'm dead." Gotta
And then
fall
for some
over.
reason, Riker's shooting a rifle, and he looks entirely bored. Jonathan
Yeah.
Frakes looks totally
It's like,
bored.
this is the dark day in our history.
Anyways,
I don't condone this.
There's a very specific point that I want to say here, is how stupid it is. Like, okay, there's a nice scene between Archer and Tripp, and they're sharing some whiskey that Cochrane gave his father. Whatever, that's cool. And the ship shakes. Okay, hey, Captain to the bridge, what's going on? Oh, we're attacked. We're boarded. The bad guys are here. Like, it's totally glossed over. There's
Well, no. Well, they totally explain it, Daniel.
Oh, yeah,
because
God.
he says, wait, I thought Shran said they couldn't catch our ship. Remind me to bring that up with them later. Boom. Problem
Plot
solved.
hole filled.
Bottle filled. I mean, yeah, I didn't fill it with spackle and did a contractor level job. Maybe I just put a little bit of wet paper towel over it, but it's totally filled.
And they
And this is
board in on the exact deck they were, or have
just
transporter
run out.
technology.
No, but remember when they boarded, they passed by the shuttle bay on their way because they knew that Shran was still there.
I mean,
because they
10
saw his
seconds.
shuttle. It said his bumper sticker, Super Shran number 1.
My child is an honor student at Andorian Grammar School.
There are four aliens that come on Enterprise. Apparently, instantly, from what we see in the episode, they shoot at the Enterprise, board it about 4 seconds later, find their way to the shuttle bay to see Shran's ship, and find their way to the captain's quarters deck, and find Tripp and Archer in like less than
Who are unarmed
30
at that
seconds.
point.
Of
Who
course,
are
yeah.
I mean,
unarmed, even though that they know
There's
that
no one
they're
else
being
in the
boarded.
deck. They are the only
no
two
one
people
else
in that
around.
quadrant.
It's so lazy and
I mean, the
dumb.
Enterprise original is so big, Philip.
And
I mean,
rushed
they could
though, because I was like, because having seen this more than once, unfortunately, I did forget, I haven't memorized it, and so like, the one guy stays with Archer, and he's like, no, you all come with me, and I'm thinking, how is he gonna get all 4 of these guys into the blast radius? And he's like, no,
I don't think he does.
Well,
does
how does he get rid of them then?
Yeah, no, they all die. Presumably,
I-
they all die.
He basically says like, oh no, I don't know.
He's like, I won't help you if you kill
No,
him.
he says,
You have to
hey,
come with
instead of us
me.
going to Shran, I'll bring Shran
I'll
here.
bring Shran
They're
to
like,
you. I have
compromise.
to bypass them security.
We solved it. Let's work together.
Yeah.
Darren, I'm going to keep coming back.
I can't help you. I can't
No,
help
no,
you,
I'm
Daniel.
gonna keep-
And then
back to
they
your-
blow it up, and then like there's still no crew, no internal sensors, no like, hey, there's an explosion in deck B or something,
No, it's Archer's there first.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you
I
saying,
was
Daniel?
going to keep coming back to your quote. Why?
Yeah.
They decided for our finale, we're going to kill off one of our the
Will
favorite.
it be
Probably the most
you?
favorite character. I mean, overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, if they
Everybody-
killed Porthos, maybe, but other than that.
But
What, we got a John Wick this finale?
Well, I was figuring last Harry Potter book, but you kill Hedwig first because it's foreshadowing.
He doesn't die heroically. I mean,
Also, Porthos ages great over 6 years. I'm just gonna say. He doesn't look- I was just thinking that.
In
I'm
space.
Like, you look exactly the same. Yeah.
well, the veterinary
Science.
medicine science of the future
Of the
is very
future,
different
a little
from-
different. Oh, jeez.
No, now I'm imagining like old Porthos in like what would be the next?
It's like Toy Story 2 style, where like Buster comes in, he's like super decrepit.
No.
Now
Oh
I'm
my
imagining
God.
like the beginning. Maybe we'll get like in Discovery season 2. There'll be this old dog walking the corridor like Enterprise. That's a good name for a ship. You treat it like a lady, and she'll always bring you home. Bark, bark.
No,
Well,
no.
because but there's part with Simon Pegg, Scotty, where he
Yeah, yeah.
beamed
Oh, yeah, we
Pride
don't-
Eagle
yeah.
because apparently it lives forever. So
Well,
that
no,
now
I assume Archer's always had a beagle.
I think it's
I totally yeah.
It's one of those like
But they
snowball
established that it's
situations
the same one.
in The
Yeah.
Simpsons.
He's like,
It's Porthos 4.
what is it? He's like Porthos 4. Hey,
Yeah,
how you doing,
exactly.
bud? Well, I totally thought that too, but then they purposely make the cheese reference, which we know was original Porthos's favorite. So it's like they were trying
like-
to make it sound like
all
it's the
dogs
same
like
Oh,
one.
excuse me. It would be Porthos D.
Ah, nice,
Ah.
nice. See, what I was thinking was it would be funny if all the crew were exactly the
Porthos
same.
D is a good episode.
Oh, that's a good name too. Yeah. So if all of our crew is still the
third.
same, and the only difference is like Porthos has an eye patch or something.
Scar.
Oh man.
What battle did you earn that in, Porthos? Anyway.
Well, he's been through a lot. There's like a whole episode where he's infected and like almost dies.
Yeah, and then one night in sickbay.
Which is a good.
But yeah, I just
Opposite end of the quality spectrum for sure. But
I get. I mean, okay, they were canceled. Look, let's just say it. Enterprise was canceled, right? Obviously. So they had to sort of.
it's the first Star Trek to be canceled since the original series.
So they're living to the legacy.
I mean, the others, yes, cancel end, but in a different way.
Yeah. So, but this, I don't know. Oh, look, there's so many things. Like, in other words, the whole thing's rushed. The story, if you break down to it, is a very simple story, not really befitting a finale. Because if you look at Voyager, it's a convoluted story. Again, it's not the best, but it's a plot. You know, a convoluted future, Borg, time travel. There's a lot going on. And isn't it 2 hours? But anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway, there's a lot going on. Enterprise is just...
I was surprised this was a regular length episode.
Yes,
I was
me
expecting
too.
it to be
But it was just a
longer.
pirate plan, Riker, Troy, kill Tripp. That's the whole story. I've just told you. And then sign the chart at the end.
There's no finality. It doesn't feel like.
And then hear his speech, his great speech. Oh wait, no, we actually don't hear the great speech.
and
We just end
And
program.
we definitely
like
learned...
all of Star Trek was apologizing.
Other than Hoshi going to Brazil, I have no idea what any of the characters are doing after this.
Well, no, they say what they want to do because
Stick with him.
Malcolm,
Yeah, stick with the
and
captain.
That's it.
Travis, Space Boomer. Did you know he was born in space?
Oh man, being on this
He-
planet sure is weird.
They want to stick with
Yeah,
Archer.
but that's not a plan.
The thing is, no, there's no finale.
I've heard he's tapped for Admiral.
No.
That's all I got
There's-
for you.
There's.
I mean, okay, now many people have said that the previous episodes leading up to this, with the Terra Prime and stuff like that, maybe they didn't wrap everything up, but they were better endings, I guess. I don't know.
well, because you
Better
got more
episodes,
character
that might be
stuff.
what it is.
Better episodes, that's true.
So we should talk about and focus a little bit now on something maybe you would think that we would like, but obviously does the episode no goodwill, and that's the inclusion of Riker
Goodwill.
and Troy, which again does nothing for either of those storylines.
So here's my question, because I enjoyed seeing the Enterprise D, of course, and with updated
that was-
graphics. I mean, that's half the episode, let's be honest. Though it did fool me, again, because...
And all the sets, because I'm like, where did these sets come from?
Yeah.
Like, it's the living room. I mean, obviously, I did notice use a stock shot pan of 10 forward,
Yeah.
and then we jump.
It fooled
to
me
the
for a
corner.
second. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, did they use it in for...
Yeah.
And then it jumps
But then they jump to the corner, and you're like, oh wait,
to your cable
Well, it's 'cause it jumped
access
back.
interview.
It goes from left. It goes from right to left, and then it jumps back to the right corner because, anyway. And then you had the briefing room, and I'm like, even if they only did like partial sets, like this is a lot of money spent.
Because the observation
I'm pretty
lounge
sure this stuff wasn't existing.
is the VR observation lounge, because it doesn't have the ships.
It didn't.
Right.
It didn't have the ship.
It's a different, yeah.
But
It's the
everything
one with
else
just
was.
the
I mean,
paneling.
but it was like 90% there, except for the ships.
Yeah.
But here's my question for
I mean,
y'all.
it felt like they hung on shots of them walking past the corridor just to prove that it was there. It's like, oh, we're going to see them walk off the holodeck and wait 5 more beats as they go and then go into the turbolift because we want you to believe that we're actually on. It's like, no, we get it. You should have cut the shot like 3 seconds ago.
But do you think the concept works of using the next generation
Look, he's
cast?
the engineer who doesn't go to engineering.
Would that if they'd maybe changed up to a different
as
TNG
a vehicle?
episode, made it make sense or flow a little bit better? I mean, do you think the concept is terrible? Like Enterprise finale, make it an Enterprise finale versus. Because I asked my wife this, because we watched it together, and she said she didn't mind because she said it's all Star Trek, it all flows together. She likes it. They're sort of making everything weave together, and that was her thought. But I put it to y'all whether you would think just the concept alone is a dead.
I don't think it was a good idea at all. I don't think it worked with the Pegasus. I don't think if they had done some episode 8 at some season 8 stuff, because technically at the end of All Good Things, like they're still on the Enterprise, they're still doing adventures, but at this point in time, so much more has happened to the Enterprise.
I do think
It just doesn't work.
It's a good concept. It's a terrible idea for a finale.
That is true too.
Terrible idea.
Maybe like mid-season 5 or 4.
Like if they did something like this in Discovery, where it's really tricky. I think there's a lot of traps and tricks you can fall into, but I do think
trips.
Okay, the best that's been done is Trial and Tribulations.
Yes, exactly.
That's it done well.
That's it done almost perfectly. I would argue. Like,
yeah,
that's exactly what you want to see.
But that's not a finale, obviously.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
So if this had been a season 4 episode instead of the finale,
if it was the season 4, which
they had not killed Tripp,
yeah,
because you wouldn't kill him mid-season because that's stupid.
I think the idea originally, the intention was to be the season 4 cliffhanger. Which would be fine. That would be fine. But it doesn't work.
So wait, then all of season 5 takes place 6 years later?
No, not all of season 5. No. That sort of stuff they adjusted. From what I understand. That series of that part of the plot.
So it would have been the part with Shran. So the cliffhanger is, does Tripp die?
Right. That sort of stuff, yeah. And in that sense, that would work. I actually think that'd be a pretty cool, clever way of maybe putting a little new twist, a little writing tweaks. You'd be fine. As a finale, it really does rob the crew. Like we spend more time, I think, with Riker than we do with Archer,
or Phlox,
or
any of the
definitely
characters.
Any of
pretty
the
much
other
except for
characters,
Tripp,
certainly.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the criticism, I don't know. Again, Enterprise not being my favorite, so take that, in consideration. But of course, what are the regular criticisms? That they don't give it characters that aren't the trio anything to do. So I mean, again, what's happening? I mean, it actually goes in order of lines. Like Reed has the medium number of lines, Hoshi has 2 lines, Travis has 1.5 lines, and then the 3.
And Phlox gets 0.5 lines.
Yeah, but twice as many as Reed. But then, for the triad, so you're going to hang your hat in the triad. Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. But then you kill off one of the triads. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And then you don't really show them dealing with his death at all.
No.
And then because they are busy getting ready to sign the charter, and then you don't show that either.
Literally the most pivotal part. This is the scene that we wanted to see from Enterprise. Mm-hmm. This is the thing that we wanted the whole time.
And technically, we've already seen it, because this is actually Crewman Daniels, remember, took him to the future and showed him this.
So it's literally, any way you slice it, any way you look at this episode, it's a complete and total failure. If you're looking at it as an Enterprise finale, it does not work, because you have this whole
there's no finale
thing hung on it. But with this Riker stuff, but even if you're like looking at it from just a plot or a storyline, there's no progression. It's Tripp dies, and I guess the Federation is founded. That's nice. That's not an important detail that Star Trek fans would have liked to actually seen. No. You couldn't have actually made a incredibly satisfying conclusion to this show by actually showing what the charter was like and how it worked and all these different races and all of this stuff. No. We'll give you a wink and a nod. I wish I could tell these people that this is a great thing. And then it's like, it's so frustrating.
I was almost expecting Riker as chef to make some sort of dropped line like, yeah, this charter for the coalition, almost like a federation, as
Wink.
It were. Like, I was almost expecting that. But now, okay, as far as main plots, I guess taking out the finale, taking out the part of Riker and Troy, what are they trying to do with these characters? And I guess the point is that Archer has a hard time taking credit where credit is due. And like, that's the thing. It's like, okay, even all that stuff aside, what happens to your characters during this episode? And the fact is nothing. Nothing really happens except for Tripp dying, and we don't even deal with that.
Also, and this is going to sound silly as much as I would critique T'Pol and a lot of Enterprise, but it kind of reminds me of the season of Big Brother that I'm watching. I know no one cares about me. But anyway, it's a reality show, Big Brother. But anyway, there's 2 characters on there who are in a showmance, and I really like one of the characters and don't like the other ones. But
hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Time out.
Mm-hmm.
You just said a lot of things.
Yeah.
First of all, showmance?
Yes. It's you got to deal with the reality show verbiage.
And secondly, characters?
Yes.
These are people.
Yeah, but there's a storyline. Anyway.
It's a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a narrative.
So anyway, so they're in a showmance, and like I like the guy and the girl's kind of whatever, but I like them cute as a couple. They're cute as a couple because they're cute. But anyway, so in this one, I don't care for T'Pol really. Nothing really ever gets me about her, but I do like T'Pol Tripp. I like them as a couple. That works. It's interesting. And in this episode, they're like, nah, it's over. Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that
It's
was the one thing I liked.
And all good thing. Yeah. Like we jump forward in all good things and we're like, oh yeah, no, Picard and Beverly aren't together. Or even in Star Wars, it's like we jump forward, oh nope, Han and Leia aren't together. It's like, why do we keep doing that? Where it's like, oh, Miles and Keiko are still going strong.
We live in a very cynical age.
But it's almost like, because then it's inauthentic. And again, I think T'Pol she's just squirming this whole episode. That's all she does is squirming about like, oh, you ever miss me? Squirm, squirm. Or oh, you know, squirm,
literally,
squirm,
why
squirm.
would you bring that up at that moment?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
In the shuttle, which by the way, shuttle pod, not the biggest thing in the world. There's like 7 people packed in that. And you're like, you ever miss me?
And Riker.
Riker is there. Hey, by the way, Riker, who is presumably on the holodeck, it is adjusting to Riker's behavior, especially when he's not in objective mode.
Right.
What if the actual chef never asked T'Pol?
Yeah, I started wondering that too. Like,
missed
does he
Tripp.
get a bunch of lines that he has to say? Because I almost expected him. Like, what if he literally said, like, "Boy, it's sure too bad that Tripp dies." Like, what's she gonna say to that? Does the program freeze and the computer says, please restate your statement within the parameters of the program?
Tripp not found.
Warning, spoilers.
All of a sudden, so he reconfigures history to now have the entire crew of the Enterprise hunting Chef for no reason because they think he's gone crazy.
And I was also wondering, and this is not a really critique, just me wondering, did they still have Makos 6 years later? Had they started to integrate? I don't know. That was just a random thought.
Okay, I will say this
Based on Star Trek
work.
Beyond as well, I know it sort of established a little bit of the time. So I guess they were still Makos during the Romulan War, according to Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, that's a good point.
But
yeah.
anyway, I just thought that was anyway.
I felt like it was one aspect of the episode that I actually did like was the idea that Archer felt personally responsible for his relationship with Shran, and by extension, obviously the Andorians and the Vulcans. Like, so he felt compelled to go and to do this because of their personal relationship. He says it's trust and loyalty that this is going to be built on, and he's the man spearheading the entire Federation. That works as a story element. I think it worked really, really well. Even in the episode, the tiny limited, time that we actually get to spend with that storyline, but it worked, and that felt so. Him going to do this sort of stuff right before signing the charter was like basically him affirming, "This is how we're going to treat you. You are like us. We're going to be, we're going to all in, and it's all about trust and stuff." So that element I actually really enjoyed about the storyline. The first 15 minutes or so, I don't know.
Well, the thing about the story and the acting, and this isn't, I'm saying bad acting, I'm just saying the way Shran acted, or Jeffrey Combs, or whether directed, acted, or written, like, I feel like he actually had the crystal still. Because he's kind of like, you know what? They think I have it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you have it too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I totally thought he had it the entire time. Although I also liked at the very last minute once they get back on the Enterprise and his daughter's all
Racist?
like, "Thanks, pink skin." And I'm like, isn't that like a racial slur? Basically, like that's. I
just want Travis to come up and be like, "Excuse me."
Yeah. Did you just call me? No. It'd be. Yeah, I was gonna say she says it to Travis.
And Archer looks at the camera like, "Oh, that's so cutesy, isn't it?" Wink. Yeah.
Those Andorians. Let me go kiss my first officer. #me too.
He's like, I gotta go find my sweet spot. Travis says.
One of the things about that, though, it's really funny, is that, and they comment about it on the episode, but in the one scene where Archer's talking to Shran in his ready room, and Riker is just awkwardly sitting there watching them, and like, this is a tiny room, and big barrel-chested Riker in this tiny chair, just like watching them, and it's like, this is weird, man. Like,
Oh, that
What, should he been outside the window, like watching from like Cube?
That would be funny. That would be awesome.
He's got an extra chair. He's like objective mode, and he just makes the wall disappear.
Yeah, he can walk through the
you
wall.
can stick his face
this.
through.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I would love to see Riker's little head in the corner of the window. That would be so funny.
Or it's on the screen, and he's like watching him from his computer screen.
Oh. Yeah. No, actually, it was Riker who kissed a frozen T'Pol. Which, whatever, what goes in the holodeck stays in the holodeck. We'll leave it at that.
What was that about? That made that scene so creepy.
Yeah, the whole thing's creepy. Well, Riker's creepy, and let's just be honest about that.
I'm surprised dough making technology hasn't advanced in the past.
I don't know what they were
years,
making.
but
Did you guys ever have any guesses what they're actually making?
No, and I think of all of them though, Phlox was doing it the worst. I'm just gonna go out and say he'd like smooth it out, then he'd like fold it in half and put it back down. I'm like,
point.
why did you even do
First
that?
I thought they
for?
were making their own pasta. Then I'm like, well, maybe some sort of baking.
Everybody really likes carrots. Like we're always interacting with the
Are you gonna
carrots
watch those
for some reason.
Anyway. Yeah. Also, this is like bottom barrel complaint. So like in the pirate scene, I know they're not necessarily pirates, but I'm going to call them that. I noticed T'Pol is wearing her jacket, and he's like, "Oh, you're happily married. Why are you bringing Vulcan?" I'm like, "You mean the Starfleet officer? That's not suspicious, But maybe
Yeah,
Starfleet's not
that's
that
true.
popular. But I feel like it's been 6 years. They probably made a couple names, but I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. But well, and I'll get back. Can I talk about the third thing that I didn't
Sure.
like?
All right.
With the very very end. So yeah, so we don't like that it wasn't a really good finale. We don't like that it had all these elements of the holodeck for no reason. Now, I just did think of a way you could make that work is if another parallel show like Voyager or something was going on and that wasn't ending, and this was like a mid-season episode for Voyager, and you brought in the other crew, but not as a finale, but to the very end.
Oh, hang on.
Where
Sorry, just to interrupt you real quick, Darren. So you're saying like you have two simultaneous shows and like
They cross over.
somebody's
right, use this as a crossover,
so like
not as the finale of Enterprise, but as like a mid-season Voyager episode.
Do you
And
remember
Voyager?
so like you remember the episode where Reg is the Voyager episode where Reg is living on the Voyager in the holodeck.
Right.
So instead of having that as a Voyager episode, having that as an Next Generation
A
episode.
TNG episode?
Something like
yeah,
that.
something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
You'd basically, it's like, think of it this way. Like, let's say Tom is having a crisis of faith on how, a decision he has to make. So he rewatches historical tapes, and we use all the bridge and the footage from Enterprise.
with the best con officer of Starfleet, Travis.
I mean, that would be a cool way to do this overlap.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But not as the finale of one of those seasons. Yeah. But anyway, but okay, so the very end, we've said the final words of Star Trek, which are end program. Yay. And then we see the Enterprise fly off, the music swells, and we start with the Enterprise D and Captain Picard saying his part, and then it cuts to Kirk. And then it cuts to the Enterprise. And, okay, I know why they did it. It's the Enterprise. But it felt like it flew in the face of, if this is, again, the point to wrap up this era, this golden era of Star Trek, you can't find a moment to put Voyager and Deep Space Nine in that. Like, I know it would go against their Enterprise motif design that they were going
it's Star
with.
Trek Enterprise, not Star Trek.
but they're wrapping up all of Star Trek. That's the thing. That's what they're trying to do in this stupid episode. But I guess I wouldn't. I can't
So
see
you would have
why
wanted
if they
like
did
Enterprise
that-
D to be flying by Deep Space Nine while Captain Picard is talking.
with Voyager docked in the
But
pylon.
no, but yeah, Enterprise flying, and then you have the original series, and then you have like Voyager, and then you have like Deep Space Nine, and then you have like Enterprise. Honestly, if they had done that, I don't feel anyone would have cared in the negative.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do it without.
If you had
looking-
done a Voyager holodeck program, and then that way you can start chronologically backwards, then I would be behind you.
It's also, yeah. I mean, like
I see what you're saying.
I get what
So
you're saying.
okay, so the very end,
Space, the
it's,
final
Tom
frontier.
No, it's
And then-
Tom walking out of his holodeck, and he was watching Riker in his holodeck program. He was watching, and it's just inceptioning.
It was holodecks all the way down. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't bothered by
Yeah, I
that.
wasn't either.
It feels appropriate. I mean, especially because if looking at it in a meta context, TOS and TNG are the most important ones. But of course, obviously they're bound by the name and the monologue. The monologue is specifically referencing that.
True.
Now, if they played the music, maybe
there wasn't a lot of
that would have helped you.
Yeah.
If they had been like, dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had to
dun.
stretch it out because obviously there was literally just enough time to say it 3 times, or 3.
Enterprise. And if you do it in the mirror when it's dark, and then
Now, if they committed to this premise and they
Made it 2 hours.
actually gave us a speech, a motivational, inspiring speech.
Oh yeah, if I see what you're saying. So it's now, instead of them doing the final opening Star Trek line, you have it right. It's Archer's speech, and then during the last
montage it.
the last parts of his
Yes.
then you
Cured.
that's 10 times better.
That's exactly how you fix that.
Sometimes
Then
we
you show-
may find ourselves far away from home, Voyager,
yes,
or
you
in unknown
Oh my
parts of
gosh.
the galaxy with
It's
strange
almost
new
enough to
aliens,
redeem the entire
Deep Space
episode.
Nine.
Almost.
yeah.
We have to
Yeah.
wait for the
Find
next
ways to-
generation.
You find ways to incorporate. You could even use lines.
Oh man.
Like you could
Yeah.
even use lines that Cisco or Janeway had said.
We have to
And,
do
like,
it. And
It's not about the journey.
That's
I
exactly.
think
Yeah.
he has to
There's
No, I know what
coffee
do
in
a
that
Cisco
nebula.
laugh.
Yeah. No, there's ways to definitely do that, and if, like you said, Darren, well, like Brandon Braga said, this was supposed to be a love letter to Star Trek, and you want to incorporate that scene, there are way better ways to do it. Don't use the monologue.
Yeah.
Use. I know this is a crazy concept, Mr. Brandon Braga. If you're going to write an episode, write the damn episode and actually have something interesting to say. So write the stupid charter, write Archer's speech,
Yeah.
and then you can have
I was
that
so
sort of
disappointed that they didn't have the speech because I'd forgotten they didn't actually show it to you. I mean, they show like how do you pronounce the Tellarite's second cousin or was something like that.
Very
but-
important stuff.
Well, one thing I noticed, and again, bigger complaints, and I forget, this is in the ending scene. In the chamber, and I forget what the scene would have looked like, but sort of like, you have the
Right.
jut part that's jutting out where he's going to walk. And this wasn't the
Right.
final scene, but the first cut they did to that, you can see the Federation symbol on the left. I'm like, isn't it a little early?
Like the round
yes, with the olive
overlay?
leaves and the stars field. I'm like, this is
one, which is funny because back then in TOS
Coalition
time it was
or something.
U
Yeah, EFP.
FP.
But
or
I mean,
something.
yeah, if you want to watch that, don't watch it again. But anyway, if you go to the end and back clip, you'll see it. And I'm like, really? Little,
That's dumb.
yeah. Because this technically is the coalition, right? Coalition charter.
Right. They're obviously not calling it the Federation. Although, why not? Is there really
The
any
branding
reason why
hasn't
we
gotten there
shouldn't
yet.
Call it?
Jeez.
Jeez. Been 6 more years. We can totally call it.
Because it's only
So
4 people. Federation, it's like a couple versus, third and then a fourth. 3's a
then a
company,
federation.
4's a
What,
federation.
like squad, battalion,
Yeah.
infantry, something.
So 45 minutes in, and I think maybe I have an answer to my question: is this episode really that bad? But I do want to
I
focus.
thought your question was why.
I do want to focus real briefly. Any
Look,
positives?
Daniel, what do you want?
Who
on
are
any
you?
positives now? And I'm going to say any positives, but I'm also going to cut you off at the legs here and say those awesome shots of the Enterprise D. You can't use those because obviously we love those. They're
What
fantastic.
about the interior shots? Some of them look like they're HD.
They are HD, yeah. Yeah, I guess, but you have to bring something else to the table as well. So anything positive? Come on, anything that you liked about the episode?
Well, they're the Tripp Archer moments. I mean, they're good, right? Most Tripp Archer moments are good. That one was good.
Really,
I mean, Tran's usually always pretty good.
Except the whole I fake, because then you got to fill in the backstory of what happened the past 6 years, and I don't
Yeah.
feel like doing that much work. You know,
Yeah.
he
This
faked his
episode
death.
doesn't deserve it.
He left. He
Here's
got
a question.
married.
Why couldn't you just start the Federation now? Like, literally, why does it have to be 6 years later?
I'm sure
because of the Romulan War, I guess. I mean, in canon reasons, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's got. Well, no, I mean, it is. It's
Yeah,
been
you're
established
right,
at some point. The date has been established at some point.
No, I would have loved that. That's how they like. I know they start the episode like just going like, man, can you believe that Romulan War that happened? Wow, I'm glad that's over.
It was rough. Yeah.
I'm sure glad nobody in our crew died from that. That'd be
Or the ship was destroyed, which I'm sure was at the spearhead of the non-coalition of Starfleet.
of the 2-ship fleet that we have. Whew,
Yeah,
was
but they're
close.
decommissioning us, so it's all right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting away from
Positives?
Positives.
Well,
here,
okay,
people.
I'll tell. This is what my wife said. She said, I just wrote. I didn't write.
Or even I'll just say one thing. Even though, or they could have done it where you see them mothball it, and then you see like some kid come up to view it and get inspired to be the next captain or something.
Or it could have been Troy.
Like, that would have been cool.
A young Chris Pike. Anyway, I don't know.
well, I mean,
young Jean-Luc Picard ancestor.
Well, no, it literally reminds me because Troy said that she went there as a kid.
Right. That's what made me think of it. Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Like actually
all
show
the
it.
museum ships are cool to me. Yeah, no, I love. I mean, by that I mean I hate. So obviously we're not talking like positive. But she's like, Gregor's like, oh yeah, Kirk ship. Kirk ship.
yeah,
What the
it's
heck?
the dialogue is terrible.
Yeah.
It is so. It's so.
The old
Self-
Enterprise, you mean? No one knows what Kirk
Yeah.
ship means in the 24th century. Which one?
Not even the old Enterprise, because to them the old Enterprise is the Enterprise C or the B.
The A.
Yeah.
You know, it's Kirk ship too. Which one are you talking about?
The refit versus the
Nah, man.
Anyway, but anyway,
and who are Pike and all these people who apparently
Chop
you know
liver.
back in the time of Saru they're important, but I guess their star is faded in the future.
well, we'll find out. But anyway, so my wife said she thought that this episode takes it to the final. I'm quoting, takes to the final step. By that she means, she was glad to see that.
Puts the final nail in the coffin.
Well, as far as like the Federation being, the charter signing, so they did say what they were going
Which
to
we
do.
don't actually see.
Yeah,
We don't get to actually see.
But I mean, they fulfilled that Enterprise was supposed to be the best. I mean, they did it. But anyway, and she said she liked it and tied it all up. She did like that it was sort of tying together multiple generations. That was her thing. So
I'm picturing, we're passing the baton. See, look, and he like throws it off screen into the corner. There, I passed
Or
it.
throws it at-
You don't actually see where I
Porthos
put it.
runs after it.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, and to me, I know we're not doing positive. There's nothing positive. That
All right, we're done.
as far as is this.
I mean, the nebula they flew by at the very last shot of
He said
all
can't
Star
do
Trek
it.
was
Said
kind
can't
of
do
cool
an exterior
looking.
shot.
What?
He said you can't do exterior shots.
well, I was saying exterior D shots.
Oh. Well,
Y'all
then
see?
this.
I found a loophole.
Well, then the original Enterprise has a problem because that's not what it looked like in Discovery. But anyway, so yeah,
That's Discovery's problem right now. Though. We haven't got there yet.
we'll talk about that finale later. But anyway, so I would say, is this episode bad? I mean, it's not bad like a Threshold or Spock's brain. Like it's not like, oh God.
Is it bad because of lost
No,
potential?
my word, frustrating. I'm yelling at the TV the whole time. The other episodes, I'm just going like, oh, okay, that's a choice. Yeah. This one, I'm going like, no, no.
I mean, if you're right, it's technically the bad finale. Because at least all the other ones were they were good as being finales. Voyager and
Well, I think Voyager's finale could give this a run for its money.
It gave you a vision of everyone's future, right? I have no idea, except that everyone
it was longer.
Stays the same rank. I mean, an Enterprise. But anyway.
Certainly, it's better from a character perspective. Yeah. There's no doubt about that, and that's perfect. That's a perfect analogy because look at All Good Things, which I mean. You can't reach a higher bar. I don't think in any of ours opinion than All Good Things.
Even I would say that Far Beyond the Stars and All Good Things.
Well, What You Leave Behind.
I'd say they're.
Yeah.
Sorry,
what you leave
I
behind.
meant what.
Yeah, I was going to say. No.
I'd say those are neck and neck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if you like DS9 over Next Gen, is probably going to be the deciding field.
Right. And oh my God. Now that you brought it up, think about What You Leave Behind.
What about Turnabout Intruder? What about it?
Problematic.
No, but like literally. What You Leave Behind. Deep Space Nine had 5 trillion characters, and all of them get a better send-off than any one. And Nog gets a better
with great
send-off
music.
than Archer does in his own series finale. There's no...
So, as a new title, Nog gets a better send off than Archer.
So it's like, you take something like TNG, which is a little more comparable to this story, especially with the future stuff and the jumping and all that sort of stuff. It's so much more satisfying because they focus on the characters and the actual story. In here, it's like, you liked TNG 5 years ago, maybe you'll like it now if we just shove it somewhere in here. And
but
it's like
the concept of like
not 5 years, 10 years.
10 years,
since
yeah.
TNG had been off.
Yeah, but like the concept
Or
of
more,
TNG
yeah.
of like using season 1 basically as its past, and here in Enterprise it's like, no, it's the first planet we visited. We're back. I'm like, it's not the same. That's not revisiting where you came from.
Oh, like revisiting Farpoint Station and all of that.
Well, yes.
And they didn't actually go to Farpoint. They went to the Q part, which is the inciting.
Yeah, but they had
part of
Yar
that pilot.
sitting there. That's what I'm saying. But like, Rigel, whatever, is supposed to be Yar in this.
Oh,
You know? Okay. Snow.
nobody cares.
Nobody
Nobody's
cares.
even on this planet.
No, I know. Maybe what's it, Clark or Clang or whatever from season, the first episode showed up. Man, that'd be something, maybe, right? Remember him? Everyone loves the Klingon.
The Klingot.
Yes, exactly.
the guy that in Broken Bow.
Yes.
Yeah, the broken.
Remember me? Dork.
And everyone's like, no, we don't.
We really don't. You didn't do anything after that episode.
Much like Travis.
Oh man, it's
It's frustrating. That's my word I go.
I am an Enterprise fan.
yeah.
Actually, I really do like Enterprise, but that feeling that you're describing, Philip, of frustration is permeated throughout the entire show. It's constantly you're reminded of lost, missed opportunities that you want to see.
Risks not taken.
Yeah, and it is terribly frustrating. And this episode specifically why?
You know what? This is
Why?
the only thing that I feel like could save this episode. Everything stays the same. Archer walks out. You see him walk out. He suddenly gets covered in blue light, and you're like, knew it. He disappears in blue light, and then it's just leaps to his next one.
Oh, I didn't follow you for a second. So here's the thing.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have fixed it at all.
And here's what I want now. Because I actually thought about
Or he's
this.
walking up and he walks by Al.
Yeah. Oh! I mean, he was already, of course, in an Enterprise episode, but still.
Yeah, that would confuse people at that point. But here's what I want. I want an elderly Archer in Discovery. I want an older Admiral Archer. I
Former
want him
president,
to have
apparently, I guess.
Yeah, he could be a president. He could be the president. I want him to have a good send-off. Because he didn't get one. And
So you mean played by Scott Bakula?
Yes, by Scott Bakula.
Now, in Discovery,
You just said
we
Archer,
get other
so I
actors
would
to play
be-
parts, so
But you could easily.
You could.
You could have a send-off
And
Enterprise.
he's aged pretty
yeah.
well.
I mean, he's getting that NCIS money, but it's,
yeah. You could have a
Gosh,
send-off.
that show's still going.
Well, he's in New
I know
Orleans,
he's in the spin-off,
right?
like
New
New
Orleans,
Orleans, yeah.
You could have a send-off Enterprise episode in Discovery
Yeah.
very easily, and it fits in canon and it works.
Heck, you could still have T'Pol be alive because
Yeah,
she lives
is that really
super
what you
long.
want, though? Is that really
Well,
what
they
you
all
want?
could. That's what I'm saying. They could all be alive. Like, not Tripp, I guess, but
Oh, too soon.
wait.
Dang it, you didn't know you wrote yourself into a corner, Brandon.
Is my memory faltering, or did they bring him back in the novels?
They did.
somehow?
He was a Section 31 plot.
Oh,
I thought, is that how the clone came about? Like, that's what the upcheck?
Yeah.
real quick. Did you guys catch the Section 31 Pegasus reference?
No.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I shouldn't say reference. It felt more.
Total episode redeemed right now.
No,
it's not.
it felt like it was implied. So this is when Riker says, "Hey, Troy, can I trust you? Even though I've been married to you and lots of stuff." And he's like, the Pegasus was run by a secret Starfleet organization. That's what he says. He doesn't actually.
Okay.
He doesn't call it out, but it's pretty heavily implied that it was Section, which makes sense. I mean, it would have been a Section.
It does
31
make
project.
sense that that's who it would be.
But it's but it's retconning. It's pre-sexual.
See, now we need that part where Bashir is in Salone's mind and he's like trans-dimensional cloaking.
What's that? Keep looking.
Keep looking.
Yeah. Oh man,
I don't know where to go from here. You guys, let's do final thoughts. You know, we're wrapping up here. Anything else, Philip? You have a whole list. Do you have anything else you wanted to just bring up? And
that was it. I mean, again, it's not a bad episode. There's plot. Things happen in the right order. You know,
things happen.
Yeah, I mean, like this is a
characters
basic
die.
story. That exists. It's but it's just. And you're just yelling at the TV. And so, I don't know. It'd be interesting, and this may be a challenge to our podcast co-host over in Punch It, write an Enterprise finale.
Yes, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Throw down that gauntlet.
Gauntlet is thrown down, Tristan and Shar.
On it, because
and you know what? Blank slate. You guys can do anything you want.
In fact,
don't even try to rewrite it. Just do anything.
And the only 2 hours. I'm giving you got 2 hours to do it.
Do a
man,
proper.
You're such a generous man,
Yes.
Philip.
No, but seriously,
I mean, with commercials.
I have so much more trust and faith in Shar and Tristan's abilities than I do Brendan Braga's that I know anything.
Watch out. He trusts him. He's going to reveal his Section 31.
Please, yes, I would love to listen to that episode.
Also, talking about ruining finales, and this is completely non-germane, but I just want to throw it out there. There's a lot of stuff with the Star Trek Deep Space Nine documentary. Did you hear Ira's idea of how he wanted the finale?
I know that he said it was different.
Yeah,
I've heard that it
was
was
it?
different, but they didn't
He
go with
wanted Benny to be walking the studio lot, and that was all made up.
Thank God
Oh,
somebody
wow.
stopped him.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Like,
thank God somebody stopped him.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No, we already had enough of that in that episode. We didn't
and we
need
had
any
got it
more.
again in season 7, episode 1 with the crazy Benny
Right.
and
Just so we could get Casey Biggs in the non-makeup.
yeah,
for
and then
a
digging in the
shot.
desert with Ezra and anyway.
Yeah. Oh man, that.
So if anybody
that
ever
is-
tells you,
oh jeez.
it's always a balancing act, right?
Yes.
If anybody ever tells you that the writers should have complete control, freedom control over a show or a movie,
JMS, as all I'm gonna say.
yeah,
Yeah.
you take it's a balancing act because sometimes you get really crazy ideas that sound good to certain people but would be disastrous in real life. So,
But anyway,
kind of like this episode.
well, and look, I mean, we've talked junk, but like, okay, compare in All Good Things with Generations. When they're doing good, they do great. When they don't do so, I mean, Generations isn't like horrible, but like, you know what I'm saying. You compare those two.
The fact that Generations was
Same
this
writers.
transitional passing of the torch when you didn't need to because the torch had been passed 7 years earlier.
Yeah. So.
But even comparing Generations, okay. So if we want, because they're not the same writers, because Ron Moore was not involved in this episode.
No, I'm saying the same writers wrote All Good Things as wrote Star Trek Generations.
Oh, I see what you're
and
saying.
the difference in the quality is when they're good. Not so much,
Yeah.
not so much. And so, like here,
Yeah, and
Brandon and Rick
honestly-
can do good stuff. I know they can. I've seen it on screen on Star Trek. This is not one of them.
And yeah, I attribute honestly, I don't think I like Brandon Braga or the way he writes. And I don't know that he's ever really written anything super good, but I think every time it's a fluke, and every time his name's attached to something terrible, it's all him. So, but that's just whatever. That's fine. That's not what we're focusing on.
That is one up
Darren.
Dan at Twitter.
No, Darren, what are your? Do you have any final thoughts that you want to get off your chest? What do you think?
Yeah, I was about to go talk to Chef, even though I'm dead, because that's when I show up.
By the way, quick, you brought that up as a joke, but I don't mind that. But did you
I
find the
didn't.
time chronology jarring
no,
of
because
having the Tripp stuff at the end, even though
I liked that.
I think because they had already established that he was going to die early, so there already was a time, shift. Although I'm surprised we never talked to Archer with the Chef.
Yeah, I was expecting that
Because
too.
I felt like we were heading there, like he would have been the next one.
Mm-hmm.
but that
But
scene,
I guess all of his stuff comes out to Paul, I guess.
that scene when Tripp comes in after he's died, I actually think that was cool That was a cool.
Yeah, that was not too bad.
That was a
I
cool
was fine
creative
with
decision, and like, because it feels so much more emotional. That whole scene does. Like, even when he's like,
Yeah.
I don't care that this carrot's not peeled. You're like, aw, Tripp.
Well, that's because
You
you already
don't
see him
care.
dead.
Yeah.
And-
that. And he's talking about his plans, with his parents.
Yeah, and he just comes. That was, I think, a very effective creative decision. Imagine that punch. Imagine that gut punch at the end of.
Imagine someone like Data coming back after he's died in a later scene.
Oh,
That was a
awkward.
little. Anyways,
Oh,
sure.
Sim just comes up at the last scene, like, I'm back.
God. Aren't you guys glad you didn't terminate me? Yeah.
Oh,
So final thought.
I can see the camera panning to sick bay as Phlox is packing up, and you see that little ass, pod goo of where Sim came
Yeah.
from, and he just looks over it and goes, Enterprise will continue on the big screen.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, no, I think I just echoing a lot of what you guys have said. Frustrating. Wish it had been more. It just was all over the place, and it was trying to be three things, and it failed at all three.
These are the frustrations.
These are the frustrations.
So honestly, it sounds like I think we're kind of all on the same page, but These Are the Voyages might be that bad, and which is unfortunate. None of us want this. I mean, this was like we had mentioned earlier. This was the last live action Star Trek that we got.
I always thought you say live action. Was there a cartoon in between?
No, I know. I just think
There were movies in between, right?
Which were
It was-
also live action, I believe.
they were. I will say, and I like the recent resurgence of interest in Enterprise time. Like I like In Beyond, or was it?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Into
You're right.
Darkness? Yeah. Oh, Beyond. I mean, obviously the Franklin is
Yeah.
certainly reminiscent of the NX-01, and the uniforms. Like they actually have Makos. Like super interested in integrating that stuff into the timeline. That's great.
Well, I do think Enterprise works better when you binge it versus episodic weekly. I mean, I think you can watch binge all of Star Trek. Well, I don't know. I say that. Sometimes you don't want to because some episodes you just want to. But I think Enterprise you can binge. It probably goes better than it did the first time when it was just airing every week.
TOS is very tough to.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's why I paused.
It's long, and it's some of those episodes.
Yeah.
They're it's tough.
You're like,
But,
I'm going to go do something else for a second.
Yeah. But yeah, so okay, we've done what 4 or 5 of these episodes so far, and I feel like we've definitely. This is one of the most solid places that we've landed. Like this is pretty negative.
Yeah.
We kind of found some things to redeem some of the other terrible episodes, but this just feels insulting and frustrating.
It's like the opposite of Spock's brain, where we're like, well, you just make this one little tweak, and it's actually a way better episode. And this is like, no.
Whiteboard.
It's
Squeak,
like-
squeak, squeak, squeak.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's try changing this. No, that breaks this part. No, let's try fixing that. No, that actually retcons this. No, we got to do... okay, guys, no. Dumpster fire. Just, walk away.
So that's been our episode for this week. Philip, what are we talking about next week?
Well, next week, we're going to do maybe a few things. It depends how long our exercise takes. But for those who may be familiar with fantasy football, we are going to be engaging a little fantasy Star Trek. And Darren and Daniel and myself will be doing our draft picks. And I won't give any more details because I want them to be able to draft on the spot for the situation I give them.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That sounds fun.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So, Philip, if people wanted to get a hold of you on the internet, where would they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at NCPublicServant or Talking Doctor Who each and every week on the network with my wife, who liked this episode, so there you go. On Time and Space.
So that podcast is presumably coming up soon again because it's now fall. So fall, I mean, right next weekish would probably be the
Autumn.
The new.
You mean the show? Because his podcast has been continuing on
No,
even
no,
when
no,
the show's
you're right.
not
Sorry,
on.
sorry. You
I mean,
guys-
it's not like we don't talk about Star Trek now,
Yes.
even though
Thank you for correcting me, Darren. Excuse
that's
me.
the rule. We can't talk about Star Trek, guys. Back to Babylon 5. Wait, never mind. That's been off the air for even
It's back
longer.
on Amazon
so-
Prime.
Yes, you guys should be having some new
New Who.
content to
New
talk
Who.
about, right?
New
'Cause
Who.
Yes.
New Doctor Who will be
Yeah,
all,
very
I heard.
exciting. We don't have an air date, which is very frustrating, like Discovery at times. Except they haven't pushed the date; they just haven't said it. So I guess they learned Discovery's lesson.
Is it spring or fall?
It's autumn because, of course, they don't say fall in
Oh.
England. But it's autumn. So.
And Darren, how about you? If people needed to get a hold of you and we're like, hey, don't be so mean to this episode, even though it's totally deservedly. But,
They can find me at One Up Dan. That's the
Woo!
number one, not the no, just kidding. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram under username Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI, or my website, drsci-fi.com, or my other podcast, Goodnight Moon, which will be coming back short, where I talk about all sorts of good things. It's been about a year and a half since we've had our episode, but my daughter's shown an interest in talking some more, so the cuteness is about to return.
oh, that's fun. That's fun. I haven't. Yeah, it's been a long time, huh? Let us know.
From there to here.
Oh boy. All right, and if people want to get hold of me and say, hey, this isn't the worst finale of Star Trek, the animated series one is, or whatever you want to call it. You can find me.
That was actually a good episode, by the way.
I don't even know what episode
Is
it
that the counterclock?
It was the one with
I forget.
April. So yeah, Captain April.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I should watch that episode. Hey, where's April hanging out in Discovery Time? Anyways.
Man. Oh, he was
Sorry.
mentioned. Remember, he was name checked.
Yes, he was on the list. He was on the list.
The
Names
greatest
dropped,
captain
more like it.
The
was
greatest captains.
Yeah,
top
Darren.
10
That's why they
hits.
only show the Enterprises. I don't see any Deep Space Nine or Voyager captains listed on greatest
It
captains.
hadn't been built yet in Discovery Time. That's all I'm going to say.
That hasn't stopped them before, Darren.
It's like, look, here's the administrator of K7. Ooh, good job at that Klingon encounter.
Anyway, maybe this season we should get at least a mention. You would think of April. That'd be cool. But anyways, people has nothing to do with where people find me. They can find me on Twitter at @OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word. And you know what? I would say that wraps it up for us this week, guys. So as we normally close the show, I'm Dan DePrue.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on SETI Alpha 3.
Come!